Oh my God, this guy with his non-polarized lenses.
Wow. Wow.
All right, he ruined it for me.
Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a conversation with DarthMicro, DeadwoodJedi, and ColdBrew. I promised in today's weekly kickoff video that I would do more of a deep dive about some of these topics going on in the community with tools and hacks and what's right, what's wrong, these gray lines, Plarium's stance on certain things. So we're just going to have an off-the-cuff conversation about this stuff. So let's get into it. Alrighty, now we've got the crew assembled and we're ready to rock. So let you fellas say hi. We'll start with you, ColdBrew. How you doing over there?
I'm good, man. I'm getting ready. Getting ready to farm.
Getting ready to farm?
Yeah.
There you go.
Extra fast.
ColdBrew says no comment. Deadwood, how you doing today?
No comment.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. And Darth, you doing all right over there, buddy?
I'm doing horrible today. You know, I'm doing absolutely terrible. Thanks for asking. I was hoping in this video we could get into that.
Okay, yeah, we can have a segment about that. That's no problem. Well,
Right in the beginning.
right in the beginning, as always. Okay, Darth, you tell us how your life has been, and we'll start there.
Well, it's a long tale, but let me tell you there, Brad. My day started with me waking up on the couch about an hour ago. And then I found out that there's some mother haters out there.
That sounds like a rough day.
Why didn't you get banned, Brad? You told me you've been using this thing.
Yeah, that's right. Deadwood, I'll let you segue off of Darth there.
Oh, thank you so much.
I always give you the difficult job. Obviously, guys, we're here. Okay,
leave it to a professional. It's fine. It's fine.
I made you play the point last time. I'll play the point. Okay. Obviously, we're all here to talk about what's going on in the community. There's so many different perspectives being shared. We need a little bit of clarification from Plarium. People are getting backlash for exposing things or using things behind the scenes without telling everybody. So first, since we've got ColdBrew socially distanced over there because he's from a different country, that's the responsible way to do things here on the set. ColdBrew, why don't you get us started with what you think about this tool and what's kind of going on in the community right now?
The hate on Europeans. That's why I'm there in the corner. Yeah. Well, I guess I understand Plarium's point of taking action against third-party tools. It's not the first company that does this. In terms of big companies trying to counter ways of third-party tools affecting their game and how they make money. I mean, the biggest game I knew with Blizzard and World of Warcraft had a whole software called Warden, which would just actually be a part of the background processes and just look out for third-party tools and just ban you immediately.
Yeah.
So Plarium is not as advanced to have that kind of thing, but they're trying to find ways. I think from now on, just protecting themselves with the third-party tools. What I want to see is, okay, what's the reason that everybody was using that tool? Because they want to do stuff quicker because the game takes much time. That's the truth. That's not because they wanted to just, hack the game. I mean, the game is based on resources which are not limitless, so eventually you run out. And
but
it's
no,
to their benefit when you
Plarium told us they can't speed up the game because of technical limitations.
That's
that
true.
was just another example of when they try to steer the public away from the answer that they were looking for. So we all know it's possible.
Yeah, and you talking about Warden reminds me, coming from the Diablo 3 community, that word came up a lot when they would ban people in waves. And Diablo or Blizzard had kind of a similar stance because in Diablo 3, anybody who played it will know there was a tool out there, a third-party tool called Turbo HUD. And Turbo HUD would show you your XP per hour. It would show you your legendaries per hour. It was a massive quality of life thing for farming, and it would give you a bunch of different information. Blizzard just kind of ignored it. They were like, whatever, turn a blind eye. But when it came to botting, when it came to people farming XP overnight, it's a lot different on Diablo because you're not just hitting R to replay. You're literally playing the game. Like, you're manually like shooting arrows and casting spells. So Blizzard cracked out on botting, but they kind of turned a blind eye to this like quality of life tool, which is, I feel like, where the line is getting kind of drawn by Plarium. Would you guys say that's fair, or?
So I would tend to agree with that. I come from RuneScape's probably the community I'm from the most, and they did exactly what you're saying. Their botting is not allowed. Like, straight injection is essentially not allowed. You can't automate key presses in the game. You can't do a 2-for-1. So you can use the space bar, for instance, for a mouse click if you want to program it that way, but you can't have it be a mouse click and then moving the mouse or anything. It can't be 2-for-1 interactions. That's how they dictate botting. Okay. Now, they also allow quality of life things as well. They came out with or not the company themselves, but other people came up, third-party developers came out with these login tools. They're essentially new clients that you could log into the game with, like Plarium PC, right? Imagine that another PC client comes out, third-party, that has a lot of built-in tools built into the client, and then Plarium allows it. That's basically what happened with RuneScape. There's a plugins called like RuneLite, which are a whole new login features, etc. And so, in the same vein as Diablo, they did the exact same line in the sand, basically. Like, you can't automate the brain power, you can't make it play the game for you, but it can help you play the game, if that makes sense.
Yep. Deadwood, you're up. We can't let you off the hook for 5 minutes.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that all tracks for me. I mean, I think I think quality of life is such an important thing in this game, in any game, right? Like, and especially a game where it's so focused. I mean, so focused on farming. The amount of time this game takes is just ridiculous. And if you don't do something to fix that, the community will find something. They'll find their own way to fix that. And to me, that's what happened here, right? It's like the community is going to come up with a way to do that. So, like, even though like this is clearly, a cheat exception, like this tool, so to speak, I have a really hard time being upset at people that are using it for their daily stuff, because I don't blame them in a lot of ways, because it just takes so much time to do this kind of thing, to farm your dungeons, to do your clan boss runs. I mean, we're talking hours upon hours of every day. It's clearly an advantage. It's clearly, a problem in that sense, but I don't think that it's, worth. I don't know. But it's different from things like auto clickers, where, I think that line of like, hey, is this something that's just making the game, helping us quality of life, versus something that's actually having a, competitive impact on the game. And I think that's really the problem with the cheat engine, right? It has a competitive impact on the game. There's not a lot of competitive aspects in Raid, but the few that there are, this has a direct impact on that. And so, it's a problem. And obviously, Raid needs to be able to figure out how to stop that from happening without, kicking everybody to the curb. But the better solution would just be to, make the game faster for everybody, and then it wouldn't be nearly as much of an issue.
And in that vein, some people are, and obviously on a situation like this where you've got gray area, you've got perspectives in every direction. Some people have the perspective that the auto clicker is cheating too, because people that can only play on mobile, they have an Apple device. There's no like program that lets you auto click. They can't really stay up 24 hours a day and keep up with people in tournaments and in Clan vs. Clan. So some people would have the perspective that it's all cheating, anything third party, even using a gear optimizer, that you can build champions way more optimized than the arena, way quicker, way easier. So like, the tough part becomes how and where we draw that line, because you'll get perspective that something is cheating no matter what it is, if it's not just the vanilla game.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that perspective a lot. It makes a lot of sense to me. I would say that there's a fundamental difference between the way these different tools work. It's kind of the way I've always looked at whaling in these kinds of games, right? Like I don't have the vast experience that you guys do as playing these types of games, but my feeling has always been the appropriate way to conduct a game like this, where whaling is an integral part to making the game sustainable, but a free-to-play player base is also integral to making the game sustainable, is that the money you spend should save you time. It should save you time, it should save you effort. It doesn't mean it should give you like just straight up advantage over other people. And I kind of look at, that kind of these things similar, like, right? So you look at an gear optimizer, what's that doing? It's saving you time. You still have that same gear. You still have to put that gear on your champions. It's just helping you figure out how to go about doing that. You look at an auto clicker. I mean, I know nobody's staying up 24 hours a day to click for food, but essentially you could be doing that same thing. It's just making it faster.
Point on auto clickers too, that like I hate it when this cheat gets compared to auto clickers, because it's like, yes, auto clickers are doing an input for you, but when you're auto clicking, you can't do anything faster than the limitations of the game. Like this cheat, you can literally have 48 hours of playtime in the game in 24 hours. Like it's breaking the actual game itself. Like the game has a limitation hardcore built into it. The cheat makes you go beyond that. Like it's just white and day, night and day, white and black, whatever. So like the comparison I hear of this like auto clicking shit is so stupid when I hear other people complaining about that, where it's like, well, you're a cheater if you're using auto clicker. Then it's like, bro, absolutely, Android phones have auto clickers built into them in the system by now, like just into the software. Like it's not. This is so beyond
So
that
then,
day.
what would you say about people that have the perspective of well, you are artificially speeding up the game when you're allowed to upgrade artifacts faster than
It's a
Plarium?
fair point,
What?
but it's a fair point. I mean, because you can turn on like the eco mode on like BlueStacks, right? And then it crunches the it quicker. And the reason it does that is because it's limiting the frame rate. And I think the way they have it programmed is it essentially does it at certain frames. Is I think the way they have it in the game, if I had to assume. So limiting the frame rate is making it quicker because of the way Plarium has it made. It's not like injecting something to make it seem like you're, that's my argument. Okay, technically wise, but still, it's a fair, as far as the actual player base perceives it, it's a fair argument. Maybe that's cheating. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that one?
ColdBrew, I'll let you. You haven't spoken for a while.
Yeah, the frame limiter, I don't mind about that. I don't think it's any kind of game breaking tool. I mean, it's a great tool. It helps a ton, especially when I'm doing takeovers. And I mean, if I had a bad laptop and I was playing the game already at capped 30 frames per second and I was playing it at a bad laptop, the game would have probably played at certain points at 10 frames per second. It's the same thing. It doesn't really affect anybody else within the game. It just affects me upgrading my gear and just saving some time. I think they should just implement something, just get that over with as well. Just make it instant and just have a 5% fail chance at level 15 to 16, whatever the chance is. Just have it there and just, I don't know, do something, help me save some time, and don't
agree,
just,
man.
yeah.
I mean, the other part too, you got to remember when it comes to rolling gear, is there's other limitations impacted upon that, right? You have limitations of silver, which is a major aspect to that. So it's not like you can just roll your gear infinitely. That's a pretty big limiter, I think, to what that can do. Not to mention, like, let's get out of the ethical morass of like, well, whataboutism with like this versus that. Like, we're talking about rolling freaking gear, man. It's literally the most dumb, boring part of the stupid game that takes for freaking ever. Like, why would you argue that that's not acceptable? Like, any way you can make that go faster is good. It's a quality of life improvement, and I understand that is what the cheat engine does for us. It makes the game more playable because it makes it faster, and that's I honestly, I don't have an issue with that. The problem with it is that it also can really have a major impact in the competitive areas of this game, which, you know, the auto clicker doesn't really do, and it does, but to a much lesser extent. And, you know, you know, rolling gear faster, that doesn't affect anything, you know. So it's kind of, it's a little bit apples to oranges to me. And I'm biased because I use that thing all the time. I use it every time I'm in an account. I'm using that. It's, you know, it's a huge lifesaver as far as time goes, because you know, trying to find the time to do all the things in this game is hard enough already. If we can find a way to make it faster, I think that's good. And yeah, no, that's it. Sorry, I got my soapbox kind of rose a little bit with my voice there. I couldn't.
No, you're good.
Keep that one down.
We're here to talk about stuff and get it all on the table. There's really nothing we shouldn't be.
I'm ready to be baptized. Let's do it.
I didn't want to interrupt you when you were talking a couple minutes ago, but you were talking about a mechanic that saves time but doesn't really give an inherent advantage. And I wanted to, before I forget, to mention a mechanic where I think they pulled this off properly is the Minotaur. The whales can gem their scrolls and GG, but players can also get the exact same effect and even get a bonus by grinding a little bit of XP, grinding a little bit of silver, saving some gems on energy. So I think that's a situation where there's a good balance between the whales and the normal player base, where they're both kind of have an avenue to success where they can be happy.
100% agree. 100%. That is, I think, the model that should fill most of this game. You know what I mean? Like, and games like it. I know that's never going to be the case, right? I know that the money drive is to buy the stuff from us. You know, you can't get it other way, so just buy the stuff from us. I get that. That's the way it is in every gacha game. But like, I feel like that kind of time saving element is crucial. Like, I don't know, I think there'd be so many players would be willing to spend money just to be able to speed this game up twice as fast, you know? Like, if you spend money, I mean, I don't know. Not to give them ideas, because Lord knows we don't need to do that, but, you know, like, the thing is like, there's so many ways to improve the quality of life in little ways like that without, you know, giving these crazy advantages one way
Deadwood,
or the other.
don't worry.
They
can't. They painted themselves in a corner. They said it's not possible. So
that's true. That's very true.
So imagine if they came out 2 weeks from now. Oh, hey guys, for $20 a month, here's ×3.
It's gonna be a 4x speed with the raid pass.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy the raid pass, then you've got 4x speed. Thanks to
like
Deadwood.
It doesn't
They'll
seem
call
like
it the Deadwood speed up thing, right? I'll get my name on it.
I just think they're smarter than we give them credit for. Like, they create a demand for something, and then they have everyone complaining about it, and everyone gets riled up. We need this one thing, and then they sell it. It's like, you know what I mean? They create their own bubble. It's brilliant. You know, honestly, I constantly get enamored by the financial brilliance of this company.
I want to also I want to make sure we touch on everything and get the opinions out there. So I wanted to ask you guys, obviously BGE and Stu got a little bit of backlash and got a little bit of hot water with Plarium. What did they end up getting? Like a month kind of lockout of the content creator program or something? Was that officially what it was? So I wanted to ask you guys if you think that was deserved or was that a little harsh, or just kind of get your perspectives on that. So Darth, you look like you want to talk.
No, to be honest, I'm sitting here thinking this would be an excellent point for you to edit in the, you know, you get what you deserve line with the Joker. You just drop that clip in there. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, okay? You record yourself cheating in the game and you post it in a video, you're going to expect to get banned. I mean, anyone's going to expect to get banned. In fact, he said in the video I'm talking about BGE here, when he made the video that he said, you know, here's an account someone gave me, you know, because I don't want to get banned on my main. I mean, he like literally said he expected to get banned, right? So it seems a little obvious. I think that a suspension is like they're trying to like kind of give him a slap on the wrist. I mean, what are they going to do? Say nothing? You know what I mean? Sorry, my fucking cat. But and then maybe she'll shut up. Can you please get off the?
Look at Joe's.
There we go. So the point being, that's like, okay, you record yourself and you get banned. Yeah, well, yeah, that's gonna probably happen. You know, I mean, you can't really be surprised. The backlash from other people, honest to God, I didn't really see coming. Like, I didn't expect people to be like mad at him. Like that part I didn't see coming. But the ban, yeah. Stu, I mean, yeah, the guy literally said in a video, he sat there and was like, I use it, every content creator uses it. It's like, well, I apparently don't know how to use it very well then.
Yeah, I truly did not even know about this thing. I don't know how, but like it never came up behind the scenes. We all talk every day. I never heard anybody mention this ever in any conversation in my clan, in my Discord, in private chats. Did you guys all even know about this thing?
I mean, if I did, I would say it because it's why would I not want to make the video that he made about this? It's great. I mean, you know, absolutely. This is exactly the type of thing that I would have made, bro. No one told me about this shit. So I almost felt heartbroken that I wasn't the first one to find out about this. And then I look around and it seemed like half the people I know about it. So it's like, oh, well, I'm the idiot. That's how I felt. I felt like I walked into a surprise party and I literally had no idea.
I would have done the same thing I've always done. It's like I've spent too much time and money on my raid account. I'm not risking it. So before I've used anything, whether it's an auto clicker, a frame rate adjuster, BlueStacks, I have made sure to ask specifically, am I allowed to use this, yes or no? And if I get the yes, I use it. So I've spent too much time and money to use something I didn't get written permission to use. Yeah. And then I say it in a video. Hey guys, auto clickers are okay. I talked to Plarium. They said this. I'm going to go ahead and use it. You can if you would like. That doesn't seem to be the connect that was made with this tool. It seems to be some people kind of used it and were a little bit in the dark about it. There was never that like written extent from Plarium. Like, you know what? It's too hard for us to police. So yeah, if you want to speed the game up, go ahead and do it. That to me seems to be where the line should be drawn. Like, did Plarium say it's okay or not? If they didn't, then ultimately our opinions don't matter. If they don't say it's okay, we shouldn't use it.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, ColdBrew.
Thanks. So I knew about this because I didn't know the name of the software. I just knew there was some software out there months ago that some streamer used to farm dungeons way quicker. And I thought that they banned him and effectively implemented a system in banning people who use that. So I didn't think of it twice. And then I saw the video from BG and I was like, oh, this is still out. And then I saw the actual software and how it was used. And I didn't know how it was used because I only saw parts of the dungeon run of that streamer. That's what I remember. He was running, I think, Fire Knight in, twice the speed. And then, with BG's video, I actually understood how it worked. I was like, okay, that's how they made it.
That's when I learned of it, was when BGE released his video. That's when I was like, wait, what? Is this clickbait? I was like, BGE doesn't clickbait. Like, what is this? And then that's when I learned about it. But
I knew about it. I knew that it existed like months ago because I remember the content creation chat. I know a lot of people don't read it because it's generally a lot of drama and nonsense.
I know about it.
I always read it. I just, I have a penchant for the drama. What can I say? So I'm always reading it. So I was aware that something like this existed, but I didn't know what it was. And then I think a few days before that video came out, I actually learned what it was, but didn't use it. And then I saw the video and then all the backlash and was like, well, I'm definitely never going to use it at this point. That's 100%. Won't try it out. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty. I think it's a pretty fair. I think it's actually one of the most fair punishments that could have been given. I almost feel bad for Stu because he kind of put his neck out there, but like I think he did that. He did that deliberately, so he knew that this would be a possibility. He had to have known, and but I mean, like their counts aren't banned. And my understanding, they're not, restricted from posting content or using footage from the game or anything like that. this is, so they don't get their content creation perks for a month, I think is a pretty fair thing, because the other thing too is like, it's not like anybody was out there to cheat. They wanted to improve the game. They wanted to bring awareness to something, and I feel like, that's acknowledged by that. If this was malevolent in intent, I think we would have seen a more severe punishment from Plarium. But I think it's actually a very fair result, personally.
I wonder how realistic it is for them to be able to reliably ban for this.
Well, I mean, I'm getting comments on the video that me and Deadwood just put out, and this guy's saying that like people are getting like actually banned. I'm getting a lot of comments. People saying like people are like getting fully banned. I don't know how realistic that is, but sometimes when you get a lot of comments about one thing, there tends to be a reason behind it. So I'm kind of and some people seem kind of annoyed that, or I say this, but only 2 comments so far. It's like these guys only get they publicly use the cheat engine, and then they only get a suspension from the program, but not even actually banned, whereas other people are getting like actually banned.
Yeah, so that it comes off as like special treatment and like.
Yeah, so you're gonna have people on both sides, but it's like.
I mean, I get that, but I think that's a juvenile perspective, quite frankly, because, look, these guys were showing how this can be done, and they were showing that this exists. They weren't using it excessively on their account. They weren't trying to push.
Stu was like, I use it, I'm always going to use it, and if you don't like it, screw off. So,
well, I mean, to be fair to Stu, I don't think he was talking about the cheat engine itself. I think he was talking about things like auto clickers and making what I consider a false equivalency between the two, right? Saying that all these third-party tools are the sime. I use Riva Tuner, I'm going to keep using Riva Tuner. I use auto clickers, I'm going to keep using auto clickers. I don't think he was talking specifically about the cheat engine, but I also don't know how clearly that point came across. But yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the, there's a big difference. They weren't using it. I know, BGE was using somebody else's account. He wasn't using his own account. And I feel like, that when you're talking about banning, I think that's part of it. Now, would Plarium have been justified to be harsher? Yeah. I mean, honestly, they probably would have, but I think this is fair because I think I just don't feel like there's any malevolent intent here. But they've given us multiple warnings about using third-party software. Yeah. Multiple warnings,
and that's why I've always made sure to ask before I log into my account using anything. I make sure and ask, is this okay? Is there any risk of me being in trouble? So that's what they should have done, in my opinion. Is I don't know. It seems simple to me. Like, ask if it's okay. Yeah. If it's not, don't do it.
On the other hand, good thing we now actually have a statement from Plarium telling us, hey, this is not good. Don't use this thing. These other things, we're kind of turning a blind eye to it right now.
It's one of those like change. It's one of those like we'll turn a blind eye until you're abusing it, like you're doing Fire Knight in 4 seconds and like.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all kind of agree where the line should be drawn, or at least I'm gathering from speaking to us, is like the tools and the quality of life stuff is generally okay, but when you start getting into actually changing how the game functions in terms of like, I don't know. Yeah, I get where the line's being drawn, and I know some arena players were really upset. ColdBrew, did you push for platinum this week? You didn't. Can you shine some light on why arena players would be super upset about this? Do you know?
Well, it's pretty clear because there's some teams that are better than others, but are not as fast. So, like a good example is like the double Rotos CF team. That really just is kind of the meta right now, but it's much slower than just using a Trunda.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much slower team, but it's a more consistent team in terms of offense.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're using that 2x or I don't know 3x or whatever it is you've tested and it works, then you can use that team and just clear up all the teams on defense.
So you can play a more consistent style and sacrifice the time because you're able to make up for it because of this tool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, if you use the Trunda build, I mean, the difference would have been 1 second or 2 seconds compared to saving, 30 seconds with the tool when you're using the Rotos team. That's where I think it will make a ton of difference.
That makes sense. Okay.
And I think people don't realize how important that Platinum Arena is for this game. That is, I think, for a lot of the big spenders in this game, that is, a huge part of it. And that's what, those whales are what keeps the river flowing to allow the game to keep functioning. So it is important that area of the game is solid and stays competitive. And using tools like this that really throws it for a loop. And I remember, when this first came out like months back, I remember there's a huge kerfuffle about it because people were so upset. It was having a major impact on that area of the game. People were really frustrated, which is another reason why, there's been a lot of, blowback on this whole situation.
To be honest, I mean, nothing Plarium has done in this situation has been like anything other than what I've seen literally every other gaming company do. You know what I mean? I was thinking back to our conversation on like how we feel like they handled it, and it's like actually you can't really point at Plarium and say they really did anything wrong about this one because I mean they went pretty light on the suspension. They didn't try to like flat out ban everybody, which was nice. And then you're right, they have been giving people warnings a lot. I mean, they've been actively stating it, and that's kind of what we've been asking for, right? Clarification. I mean, at a minimum. So that's kind of the win we got out of this situation. At least we actually have a statement, like we have, right and wrong now.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, we all have cats.
How old's your cat, ColdBrew?
Feel very left out.
He's closing into what, 8 months?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could tell it was still young.
He's just fluffy.
Cool. Well, I guess I think we covered most of what we wanted to cover on this. Definitely a tough topic to discuss because there's so many different perspectives and there's so many different ways to look at it, so many different arguments to be made. But I think we're all in agreement on the most part. Is there anything you guys want to touch on that didn't come up, or a different perspective you want to share?
Yeah, just to close things up. If you see me in the Draco tournament, don't fight it. Don't fight it.
Same, I need a duplicate.
That's true. That's a good thing to talk about on the way out here. Do we know what this is going to be? Like, is it going to be the Sir Nick thing where every group has a Draco at the top, or is it going to be just global and Fane is in the... I don't think we know, do we?
I have no idea. I'm just hoping, wishing. Because that's going to be my way of trying to get a Draco.
You don't have
the shards don't work.
You don't have a Draco yet, right? ColdBrew and then Deadwood has I think.
Clan versus clan reward. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean I've got Lydia and I've got Venus, but it's not the same.
Gosh, I hope I'm in ColdBrew's group.
What ColdBrew's really saying is, Plarium, make sure you check his timestamps.
Yeah.
Make sure, this guy's going to be cheating a little bit with that engine, so,
ColdBrew's next video, I use it. I have been using it.
And I'm always going to use it.
Every second of the day.
Oh, you know what? It all makes sense now. Okay, ColdBrew said he learned about this tool a couple months ago. When did ColdBrew start streaming a lot less frequently? Huh?
Oh,
we found out.
Yeah.
I can't show it on stream, guys.
It all just came together for me. It all came together.
Bad boy. What you gonna do?
Gotta hide. You gotta hide from the police.
It all makes sense now. I get it.
Plarium moderator Brad hunting him down.
Yep, I'm on the case. I'm on the case.
Got me.
Oh, great.
All right, boys. Well, then I think that covers most of what I want to do. It seems like the line is drawn at not, like Darth said, not changing how the actual game functions, but upgrading not even upgrading artifacts faster, adjusting your own frame rate, because actually adjusting your frame rate in dungeons makes it a lot slower. You know, if nobody's tried it in a dungeon, your runs will take like 30 minutes. It just destroys your runs. So that seems to be where the line's going to be drawn. We will all keep you up to date. I'm sure if we hear any sort of clarification. As of right now, I would not use the speed dungeon animation speeder upper tactic, but adjusting your frame rates, there's no way they can.
Nailed it, Brad.
What?
Cool name.
Wow. I'm like a
That's
poet over
that's
here.
the legal name?
What? What'd I say?
I don't even know what you said.
Did my mic cut out or something? What did I
No,
say?
you're good. Never mind. You just watch
No,
it back to
you
figure
just
it out.
described the cheat engine tool in 15 words.
Well, because I don't know how, like what it's called. What's it called? Speed hack?
It's
Cheat
kind of like
engine.
you know, when all the
Cheat engine?
different pieces
ColdBrew. I don't have it on my
Yeah.
computer like you do. I don't know what it's called.
I don't even have it.
It seems obvious to you. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, because I research before I do a video.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Integrity journalism.
There we
here.
go. There we go.
I'm sure you do. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for this one. Definitely let me know what you think down in the comments, where you agree with us, where you disagree with us. I always enjoy reading your perspective, especially on issues like this, where there's lots of different gray area. It's definitely good to go through and see how people feel about things like this. So huge shout out to my good friends, DeadwoodJedi, ColdBrew, and DarthMicro. I will link to their channels down below in the video description and also a pinned comment. I would definitely check out their stuff. They all do a really good job, and I appreciate them taking the time to sit down with me and chat about some of the stuff going on in raids. So as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.